You know what's the worst part about this? I want you guys to take a little trip down the memory lane with me. And we don't even have to go that back. And we're not talking about World War II time period. We're not even talking about Bush era period. Let's think about when the Obamas were in office. If you were to hear a news like this, like back in, when was it, like 2010? You'd hear in 2010 that people had gay sex and recorded it in the House of Senate. Which I've been reminded so many times after January 6th that it is a hallowed place, a holy place for their democracy. And you would hear this type of information. It's like it happened, okay? Like someone couldn't hold their urges, and not only that, but they decided to film it and then show it to other people because otherwise it wouldn't leak. How would you react? I mean, you would probably be a little bit dismayed, wouldn't you? You'd probably be like, not in my Senate. I pay for that place. But now it's to the point where if you're telling it to people online when it first broke, when the news cover came out, most people were like, yeah, no, it sounds about right. I mean, it's the Democrats, right? Like of course. Of course. Yeah, I mean, they would do that. Why wouldn't they? Jesus Christ. Imagine what other world leaders think of the United States of America right now. Let's see. You had a person from the Democrats that was stealing women's underwear a couple of months ago. I mean, this is what they were caught doing, right? Then you have another person that apparently did la cocaína in the White House. Like, how can you go in public and say that you want to crack down on people trafficking la cocaína when it's happening in your White House? Well, what's even funnier is that, oh, you want to keep people safe. Yes, we need to keep people safe from evil AI, which is just text on your screen. And we need more insight into what people do in their private homes. Like, we need social media to help gather information so that we can protect the people. Right? So like, more invasive regulation into people's lives. Like, we're going to ask those private companies that can do whatever it wants to really spy on people for their own safety. Well, when they can't keep the White House safe. Like, they can spy on little Billy, who uses Facebook, who uses Twitter. Like that's fine. Little Billy can be spied on. But we can't have cameras in the White House to figure out who did the la cocaína. Like, I mean, up to this day, they don't know. Like, what message is that sending to people? Right? Like, when I grew up, it was like, the long arm of the law. The long arm of the law is going to catch you. Crime doesn't pay. Like, those were the messages that I was bombarded with when watching kids' cartoons. And they were great messages, by the way. It disincentivizes people from trying shit. It's like, okay, well, even if I want to do a crime, if I do it, then I get caught. The long arm of the law. Well, how short is the arm of the law now that it can't even reach into the fucking White House? So yeah, we don't know who did the la cocaína, but apparently this is also funny because if people are willing to do the boot sex into the House, right, into the Senate, sorry, they're doing the boot sex in the Senate, and they're filming it, imagine how brazen they are. Like, you can't tell me that this is a one. I refuse to believe it. I mean, it's possible it's a one-off, but I refuse to believe it. Like, usually, the criminal mind needs a little bit of training until they even think about doing something like this. You know, you don't start off with the big shit. You need to start with the little league. Almost like everything in life. It's like showing me that someone managed to code Baldur's Gate 3. And it was like the first game that they ever coded. I would be like, no, wait, that can't be. Like, they must have coded something else previously, you know? Showing me Mozart, one of his most famous plays. And I would be like, well, this can't be like the first song the man has ever written. Like, he must have started off writing like simpler songs before he got to that level, right? Does that make sense? It's the same with criminals. Like, you can't just like randomly have the courage and the brazency and the attitude to think that you can do the boot sex in the Senate without any repercussions. Like, no, you need to start with something small. Like first maybe you do a little bit of hand-holding in the Senate, and you film that. And a little bit of kissy-kissy, and then you film that. You know, like, But it's obviously, the disrespect this day that they have to the public and the people and the morals that the public has. I mean, we had like what, the satanic statue that happened in Iowa recently. Like actually, hold on. It's even in the newspapers. One Congressman Mike Collins reacted to the video, and he said it's a heck of the week for the left. You got gay porn in the Senate, swearing a ceremony on child porn in Virginia. I don't know what this is. T star 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 Y. I mean, look, if we're going to do this, I'm not going to play hangman while reading the newspapers. Either you're an adult and you can say the word that was quoted, or don't say the word. Like this is the most childish American shit ever. Okay? Like what the fuck is with this? Like, how old are you? Unironically, the journalist who made it, how old are you? Either you quote the guy or you don't quote the guy. Like, why am I having to play hangman? Can I buy a vowel? Fucking hell. So, I want to buy A. Tap dancers in the White House and satanic statues in Iowa. What else am I missing? Well, a lot of them are like, oh, so what? It's because it's gay, isn't it? It's because it's gay. There was a case a couple of years ago with a very ushi-kushi lady. I mean, dude, like that lady was a mwah. Very ushi-kushi, very tsuyoi. She made also a picture masturbating herself in a public library. And it was on the university. She said it online. The boyfriend leaked it. She got expelled from the university. That was straight. Well, actually, it wasn't even straight. It was like her masturbating, right? It was a very beautiful girl, like the type of person that has beauty privilege. So no, like this is not about, oh my god, it's gay. No, like, what was it, like Monica Lewinsky creating a scandal? Like no, okay, like having sex at the office is not considered something respectful, right? Like there is something that we call as a decorum. Like I understand that modern left-leaning people they think that humans shouldn't have any type of decorum. That we should be able to do everything everywhere. If I want to fart in public, I should. If I want to take a shit in public, I should. Right? But most people don't think like that. Okay? Like, most people do believe that you need to behave in a certain way, especially when you're in a place that you want people to respect. So that then you can go on television and be like, oh, this is the hallowed halls of democracy. They are sacred. Lady Democracy herself, the goddess, has descended among these halls. This is the most sacred place. Yeah, it can't really be considered like that if you yourself don't respect it. So most people, they were like, yeah, I mean, it did happen, of course. Like, it's America, isn't it? Like this is what Americans do? Is it that? Satanic statues, yes. Butsieks, yeah. I want you guys to imagine this. You manage to have a time machine and you go back, I don't know, like 20 years in the past. And you do like a documentary that you start with a little bit of sensationalism. And it would be like, Butsieks in the Senate, La Cocaína in the White House, satanic statues. This is the modern America of 2023. Staffers stealing women's underwear in the airport. Transgender men showing boobies in front of the White House. Like, and this is just this year alone. Like, the year hasn't been over as well, as some people may accurately point out. Now, imagine you do this, right? And you have like this documentary and you show it to people 20 years ago. I mean, it would be the same people, right? Like the same people who are alive now would see it back then. Do you think they would believe it? They would think that you're full of shit? Or if they do believe it, how would they react? Again, like we're not talking like the previous generation or the people that stormed Normandy. No, we're talking about 20 years ago. And my question is, like, if this transpired within 20 years, how are things going to look 20 years in the future? Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.